have, I think we're getting hooked up with our guest. He is comedian Tim Cavanagh. And
there he is.
There he is. Well, hey, Tim.
Hey,
how are you?
guys.
Thank you for the Christmas cookies, Mr. Cavanagh.
Yes, so wonderful.
They were very
Thank
good.
you.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you got them.
What cookies?
Very generous of you.
Oh, we already ate them all.
What?
Delicious.
They're really good cookies.
Oh, I bet they
My
were.
wife didn't get any for us.
Oh, no.
No, I know. I feel like I should come down and see you guys and maybe just grab a couple of the cookies.
No,
That
that's okay, Tim. You're fine.
Tim, they're gone.
No,
we're not going to be here much
I've not been
longer.
invited back
anyway.
since COVID and all of that.
Oh, God.
And that's fine.
Oh, boy.
Now,
I don't feel bad about it. I see other people, wandering through, but that's okay.
I tell you what,
fine.
I don't feel bad about it either. How about that?
Tim, we have coming up.
Well, you know how I drive, chick. So
Yeah, that's true.
I shouldn't be behind the wheel of a car. So I'm just going to stay here. I feel really comfortable here. But enjoy the cookies.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
Very nice.
We done on
Very.
that segment? Okay. We have a request, Tim, that after you leave, I'm going to play one of your songs in honor of the Detroit Pistons.
Still losing.
Oh, wonderful.
Who are rapidly approaching a record for the most losses in a row by an NBA team. Are they 2 away from the record? Maybe 2 or 3?
2 or 3. 20, I know they hit 21 a couple nights. Yeah.
Oof.
They lost again last night. I know that. So we'll get to that
Oh, that's
coming
a
up.
shame.
It's one of my favorite songs of yours. But well, what's new in your life? I know we also have a request coming up for Fry Up an Eagle.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that's Finn's favorite.
Yeah.
So I'm glad about that.
We had a news story this morning from Chick McGee about 2 men who have been arrested for allegedly
Killing eagles and regular eagles and bald eagles, if you will, and
Hundreds of them.
and golden eagles. 36.
Oh, that's terrible.
They were charged with killing 3,600 eagles.
Crazy.
Tim. It's nuts.
and I can't quite figure out why, but apparently they're collectible by psychos of some sort. So we'll play Fry Up an Eagle, but right now it's time for the Tim Cavanagh birthday segment, and we have the proper introduction right here.
Hey, everybody. It's time once again for Tim Cavanagh's Cavalcade of Celebrity Birthdays. I'm comedian Tim Cavanagh. Golfer Tiger Woods, who was all over all the highlights this weekend. Tiger is an interesting guy. Years ago, he told the press, I don't consider myself black because I'm part black, part Caucasian, part Native American, and part Asian. He said, call me Coblinasian. I respect that. A good friend of mine has a father from Korea and a mother from Ghana. He's Ghanaian. And you can't get anywhere with internet dating.
No.
I shouldn't lead with that. Actresses Tara Reid and Allison Hannigan celebrate birthdays this month. They both played great roles in the movies American Pie and American Pie 2. Next summer, they'll star in the new American Pie 3.14159265359 ... A movie that promises to go on forever. See, it was American Pie, and then all the numbers.
Oh, sure, yeah.
that was
We even
good.
laughed.
Celebrating birthday this month was our own Pat Godwin. Pat is a good guy. He's such a talented musician. He was born with a guitar in his hand, which made childbirth difficult for his mom. To make matters worse, his younger sister was a great tuba player, explaining her mother's eventual tubal ligation.
Oh, nice. Ouch. Ouch.
Born this month back in 1800 was chemist and manufacturing engineer Charles Goodyear. In 1844, after years of research, he developed vulcanized rubber, the only prophylactic approved by Mr. Spock from Star Trek.
Sure.
There it is.
Coming up December 30th is the 46th birthday of professional fighter and TV personality Laila Ali, the daughter of Muhammad Ali. Sadly, she was born 4 days shy of Boxing Day. No, you know what? I didn't think anybody would laugh at all at that.
Very funny.
I thought Chip would get Hardy. Like it's an English thing, you say.
Yeah, Boxing Day.
Yeah, no, Boxing
they'd
Day
get a hearty
very
laugh out of you.
popular
Canada
in the
England,
Commonwealth.
Sure. Yeah, right.
Well, here's a whole different thing. Actress Bebe Neuwirth, best known as Lilith. I can't say that. Lilith. The wife of Dr. Fraser Crane on Frasier, turned 64 this month. Bebe has 11 brothers and sisters, and her parents named all the kids the same way, not with an actual name, but with double letters. Like Bebe, for instance, and her identical twin sister Cece, which in this case does not stand for carbon copy, but it could. Bebe's older brother AA is an alcoholic.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Her brother II is a captain in the Navy. She has a stripper sister, DD, they call double D, and another sister named EE, who is a porn star, and another named FF, who can't stand up straight without toppling over. Yeah. She has another brother who's in a mental facility.
Oh.
The poor guy thinks he's a bean. The good news is LL had a breakthrough last week when he called himself a human being.
Oh, okay.
That's LL Bean. Yeah. And finally, there's her youngest brother who is enthralled with his own crotch.
Oh.
That would be, of course, PP.
By the way, did you neglect to say the last name? Is EE based on EE Cummings? Is that why
She's a porn star.
Oh my gosh. That is so good, Tom. I really appreciate that.
Just remember lowercase.
It's all, that's right. It's lowercase.
Yeah. Even Cummins is lowercase.
Sometimes I get stuck on caps lock.
Thank you very much.
But that's a very good joke. You know what? If you ever hear that joke again, and based on how it went this year, probably won't come around
I enjoyed
again.
it. I enjoyed the entire segment. I thought it was great.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, well, good. Because we have a couple more
I particularly like PP.
similarly experimental. Yeah. A ZZ Top did not get in there because we'd already done the FF Top and the EE Top.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure.
Turning 88 this month is Salam bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, the king of Saudi Arabia. Now, what kind of birthday present do you give to the king of Saudi Arabia, one of the richest men in the world? Well, how about a book on etiquette? So maybe you'll learn that it's considered impolite to, like, kill foreign journalists.
Yeah. That is impolite. Yeah, there's that.
Taylor Swift celebrated her birthday this month. She is the biggest entertainer on the planet right now, with millions of followers who she has dubbed Swifties. I don't really care for the name Swifties, and from what I've seen, adding an IES to your last name doesn't always work out for entertainers.
Oh.
Just ask Patty Duke, who was always surrounded by her dookies. Or Carlos Mencius, who eventually grew tired of his menses.
Sure.
And then there was Betty White, who alienated a lot of fans when she started calling them all Whitey. The danger of just adding an IES
Yeah,
at
sure.
the end of it. Actor Timothée Chalamet is turning 28 this month. He's a very talented man, but it makes me mad that so many people mix the two of us up. I mean, I can understand the confusion. We have the same initials, TC, and our first names are both Timothy.
Yes.
The similarities go on, and some of them are quite amazing. Like, Timothée Chalamet has a penis. I have a penis.
Good enough.
All right.
His character on Homeland was named Finn Walden. My mother's maiden name was Jane Waldron.
Wow. interesting.
Isn't this amazing?
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet is bilingual. I'm straight.
I see. There's a difference there.
In 2025, he will play Bob Dylan in a movie. In 1968, I played Bob Dylan at a hootenanny at a Boy Scout jamboree. Or a Boy Scout jamboree. And a recent poll of nurses declared Timothée Chalamet the sexiest man alive.
Nurses.
Similarly, a recent poll of nurses declared me alive.
Some speculation.
Which wasn't that funny when they did it, but it worked out. Okay, 8-time NBA All-Star Dwight Howard will turn 38 next week. A 7-inch growth spurt as he entered high school prompted him to change his position from guard to forward. At just about that same age, I too experienced a sudden growth spurt of almost 4 inches in my pants that prompted me to change my choir position from soprano to tenor. This month's most famous birthday is December 25th, Jesus' birthday, which is such a big deal that people forget some of the other famous people born on that day.
Oh.
For instance, born on Christmas Day was Robert Ripley, believe it or not.
Silly.
Kostaki
Yeah, that was close enough.
Kostaki Economopoulos was born on December 25th. Thankfully, our holiday is not named for Kostaki.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be wishing each other a Merry Economopoulos. I never know when to end that. Born in New York City on Christmas Day, 1907, was band leader Cab Calloway.
Oh.
As with Jesus, there was a miracle associated with Cab's birth. 45 minutes after he was delivered, the nurses at the hospital totally lost track of him. After hours of searching, they finally found him safe and sound.
Oh.
The miracle, of course, here is finding a cab in New York City on Christmas Day. And there's one more connection here. As a band leader, Cab Calloway's biggest hit was called Minnie the Moocher. And it was Jesus in his Sermon on the Mount who preached, "Blessed are the moochers, for they shall sponge off the meek." They shall sponge off the meek.
Oh, yeah.
You could probably edit that together and make that sound better. Conrad Hilton was born on Christmas Day. Unfortunately, 2,000 years too late to provide comfortable lodging for Mary and Joseph and a free continental breakfast. Free HBO would have been nice, too.
Sure.
They would have enjoyed that. Born on Christmas back in 1899 was the great actor Humphrey Bogart. Surprisingly, Bogart had something connecting him with the first Christmas also. Maybe it was just a coincidence, but one of the wise men who came to see Jesus in the manger uttered the exact same words that Bogart would make famous over 1,900 years later. "Here's looking at you, kid."
The watchmen said that, didn't they?
I'm sorry, some of these are really long. Born this month back, we're almost done. Born this month back in 1893 was Mao Zedong, chairman of the Chinese Communist Party from 1949 to 1976. Under his brutal rule, life in China changed dramatically. He even had an impact on Buddhism, as described in the book That Was Zen, This Is Mao. Actor Ray Liotta, who played shoeless Joe Jackson in the movie Field of Dreams, would have turned 69 this month. True story. My father-in-law walked out of that movie when shoeless Joe came to the plate and batted right-handed instead of left-handed, as he did in real life, proving that my father-in-law was not a fan of allegorical cinema and was a freaking psycho. That is a true story.
That's hilarious.
The great scientist Sir Isaac Newton would be 382 years old this month. He famously formulated the law of gravity after watching an apple fall. For the last 25 years, people have taken Newton's calculations and predicted what they consider to be the inevitable fall of Apple, but the stock keeps going up.
It sure does.
That was a good stretch there. And finally, and this is not a closer, Tom, I will tell you this right now.
Okay. All right.
But it's an interesting joke. Okay. Well, you know what? I won't even call it a joke. I'll let you guys judge that. Biologist Louis Pasteur was born this month back in 1822. Before he developed his method for pasteurizing milk, people would drink milk by lying flat on the ground underneath a cow, positioning their mouths right under the udders, and then start tugging, drinking as much milk as they wanted. Some would drink until they puked, a tradition that still is carried on at many ag school fraternity parties. It's only at the ag schools that they do that.
Sure.
Traditionally. And maybe at Northwestern because it would be part of a hazing thing. Well, that wraps up another edition of Tim Cavanagh's Cavalcade of Celebrity Birthdays. Till next time, remember, who needs a calendar when you've got a Cavanaugh?
Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
And we'll be discussing Tim's presence. I know it's going to be a December 31 New Year's Eve show at the famous Yes Cinema in Columbus, Indiana.
Nice.
With little Timmy Cavanagh.
I love that place. With our friend, Dave the King Wilson.
All right.
The King's been very busy. I saw the King the other night.
I did too. Yeah, he is.
He's awesome. Well,
He's
thank you
good.
very much, Tim.
He's a great guy and a good friend.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Thanks, you guys.
We're going to play
See
your
you next year.
Piston tribute in just a second.
All right.
So you're looking forward to it.